What's up, guys? Akhil here. This is the third episode of our podcast, and today we'll be discussing a topic which is very close to my heart. It changed who I am as a person, it made me a lot more confident in life. This is martial arts, or the world of fighting. So, this journey began around 16 years ago, roughly around the age of 10, 11. I joined a dojo which is primarily doing Shotokan karate. And from then on, my life has been more or less in an upward trajectory. If I'm speaking to you guys as confident as I'm speaking to you guys before the screen, it's largely because of the exposure martial arts has given me. So, I was never a confident kid growing up, had a lot of insecurities, less confident in who I am. People picked me on a lot. But then martial arts instilled that confidence in me. One thing I'm largely thankful is I got the opportunity to train so many people, whether it be children from the age category of 5 to 10, or teenagers, boys and girls, or adults, or even the elderly. That gave me the platform not just to sharpen my skills, but dig down deep and search who I am beneath. And I'm always thankful for that opportunity. Even to this day, I'm carrying that journey, so on and so forth. But there is this one thing I want to get off my chest. This is for all the females out there. I really want each and every one of you to pick up one martial art, whether it be karate, kickboxing, taekwondo, judo. Because I've seen women more or less in the receiving end, whether it be physically or mentally. And that's a sad place to be. It puts a bad taste in my mouth also. And that's why I'm asking each one of you to pick up one martial art. Now, I don't spoon feed people. It's going to be rigorous. The training is very tough. It's very taxing. It will take every ounce of blood and sweat from your body. But it is my word that you people will be better off if you take up at least one martial art. Train 3 days a week. Every alternative day is still fine. But this is my word. And there is one more thing I want to get off my chest. So, fighters are always seen as barbarians, uncivilized. They punch each other for money. Why? Most of these guys, they come from weaker sections of the society. They're underprivileged. They don't have technically roofs above their head. They don't have anything else to do in their life. And they take up fighting. But they come off better at the end of this journey. One person I always refer to is a guy called Joe Frazier. He was Muhammad Ali's greatest rival in life. He came from a very poor section of the society, but he became the heavyweight champion of the world. For 4 years continuously, he reigned dominant. And from then on, his life has gone in an upward trajectory. So through fighting, people have changed their lives for the better. Then there are others like me who don't have to do it, who don't have to fight, but who do it for the love of the sport. As a kid, I grew up watching so many fighters right from the past. If it's Jack Johnson, Jack Dempsey, Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, I'm just rambling right now. Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson. These guys have all been a great inspiration in my life. A good proportion of my life I've spent studying them, studying their fights, studying their movement. And fighting isn't just a physical sport, it's very much a chess match. When you're in the ring fighting, if a guy is throwing 2 or 3 combinations at you, you need to know how to duck, how to dodge, how to slip these punches. If your brain doesn't coordinate with your body, you're dead. You're flatlined. So it's very much a chess match when you're in there. So people who think they're uncivilized, that is wrong. That's a misconception. I want to get it out of the way. Now there is this one thing or one phase in my life I always go back to, which I cherish more so than most moments in my life. That is this period of 2018 to 2020. So like I said, I began with Shotokan karate. I transitioned into Goju Ryu karate and eventually transitioned into mixed martial arts. So mixed martial arts is a combination of all these martial arts: karate, kickboxing, taekwondo, judo, so many martial arts. So I trained predominantly in boxing and kickboxing, period. So around this time frame, I was both mentally and physically at my prime. I've never felt better in any other point in my life. I was just ready to fight anyone. Even if I got my butt whooped, I just wanted to fight. I didn't care the number of times I got my butt kicked. Just wanted to fight. So I told my coach, I want to fight. Put me in the next card. I don't care if it's a kickboxing match, if it's a boxing match. I just don't care. Just get me in the card. So he set up a middleweight fight in Trivandrum. This is around March 2019. So I was always in weight. I was always a 160 pounder naturally. I never had to cut weight to make 160 pounds. But what happened is my opponent, he naturally walks around at 195, 200 pounds. So he is draining all the liquid in his body to come down to 160 pounds. And then within 24 hours of the fight, this guy rehydrates himself all the way back to 200 pounds. So on the day of the fight, me being a 160 pounder is technically fighting somebody taller than me, stronger than me, has the weight advantage over me, and is a lot more explosive than me. That itself is a disadvantage to me. Number one. Number two, guys, please do not cut weight. This is extremely dangerous. In the long run, it won't just affect your physical health, it will also affect your brain activity. So always fight in your natural weight. If it's a 160 pound, fight at a 160 pound or fight at a 175 pound if you're 175 pounder. But don't cut your weight so that you can bully over people smaller than you. So we made weight. I made 160. He made 160. And the fight was official. And then as I was passing through the hallway back to my hotel room, this guy, he confronts me. He's like, I don't know who you are, man. I don't know who you are, but this is the worst decision you've ever made in your life. You should not take this fight. I'm like, okay. He's saying all of this in Malayalam, first of all. I'm like listening to him. I want to know where this is going. And then he's like, I know you're a guy from Dubai. I don't know where he got this information from. I know you're a guy from Dubai. You don't have that meanness in you, man. You ain't tough. You haven't seen this part of the life. You aren't rough. You will get knocked out. Clean. He keeps on rambling. And since my Malayalam is broken, if I try retaliating back with him, I'll make a fool out of myself. So I didn't want to retaliate. I just kept my calm, kept my cool. And then in the end, I just said him this in English. Amigo, I will knock you spark out. That agitated him. It made him frustrated. And as I was going back to my hotel room, because of all of this baggage in me, even I was nervous, man. I was nervous. I was agitated. I was in a state of frustration. I went back to my room. I played one of my favorite songs, which is In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. That kept me calm, kept me composed. Deep down, that nervousness hasn't left me, but it kind of dimmed me down. So, on the very next day, after taping my hands, still that nervousness is there. My coaching team, they went into the arena. I'm in the locker room before the fight. I'm nervous. And I'm saying things to myself like I'm the most explosive, the most vicious, the most ruthless fighter he's ever stepped in the ring with. He's saying he's fought real men. I am going to show him what a real man is. This man can't pray of whooping me. I'm going to show him who is his alpha. His head will bow, his knee will bend, his tongue will confess, Akhil, you are the greatest. I'm saying all of these things, pumping myself. I was at the peak of my ego testicle. What do you say? I was at the peak of that egoistic bankruptcy, I could say. So I'm going into the ring with all of this pumping up myself. As soon as I saw the ring, it almost felt like the ghosts of all the great fighters of the past came in me. I've never ever experienced that before in my life. It felt like I am where I belong. I stepped into that ring. I saw my opponent. The referee bought two of us close. He said to me, am I ready? I said yes. He said to my opponent, are you ready? He said he's yes. The fight starts. As soon as the fight starts, I don't know this guy's name, but I'm officially naming him the Mummy, because this is how he fights. He fights like a mummy. He's slow. His legs don't move much. But this guy, he threw a punch right beneath my rib. The very moment he threw that punch right beneath my rib, I could sense he's carrying a lot of knockout power. If I try being in a fist fight with him, if I try being in what you call a phone booth fight with this guy, he will knock me out. He will knock me out. And I'm man enough to admit that. So the only thing I knew was to rely on my footwork, rely on my movement, stay away from him, keep this guy at bay, keep him at range, punch him and kick him from the outside, win this fight on points. There is a difference here. This guy is trying to kill me. I'm just trying to win a fight. That is the difference between me and him. So the entire fight, I'm just relying on my footwork, on my speed, keeping this guy at bay, winning the fight in points because I'm the smaller guy, naturally a lot more faster than him. So the entire first round, I decisively won on points. But what happened is, since I relied too much on my speed, too much on my movement, I was gassed out. I was drained, I was completely exhausted. I knew I didn't have the energy to fight the second round. I knew I had to give him the second round. So as soon as the bell rang, I knew the only way to go through the second round is defending myself. I don't have the speed to run away from him. This guy saw that. He saw that I was covering up. He starts punching at me. And the entire time I'm keeping my guard up and just moving around the ring. He's punching at me, he's kicking at me. In the last 20 seconds of the fight, I'm keeping my guard up. As I'm keeping my guard up, his punch goes through my guard and hits the back of my head. I just fell there. I fell there. I didn't know where I was. And the referee is counting 6. And that's when I realized it's 6. If he counts till 10 and if I don't get up, I'm out. of this fight. So as soon as I heard 6, I just got up on my feet because I wanted to survive the second round. He asked me, "Are you in your right senses?" I'm like, "Yes." 10 more seconds, let's get through this round. So he continues the fight. For 10 seconds, I just go through the beating, go through the pummeling he's putting on me. Second round ends. I'm going to my corner. I'm sitting in my stool. My coach is yelling at me, "Akil, slip his jab, duck his punches." And the entire time I'm thinking to myself, saying to myself, "Boy, you got to keep yourself together, man. You're fighting somebody taller than you, stronger than you, explosive than you. There is a chance he could damage you really bad, really bad. Do you have the heart to go through what you have to go through in this next round?" And I'm kind of nodding to myself twice. Even now, like when I think about that, it was difficult. I kind of nod down to myself twice. I'm like, I have the heart. I will win this fight no matter what. So I got up from my stool. The third round starts. The third round starts. The first and the second round, since he was so explosive, he was gassed out. But since I got the break in the second round, I'm a lot more refreshed. He comes at me. He starts charging at me like a bull. Okay, but since he is all gassed out, his punches don't have the same thud anymore. I knew if I stick to the game plan, if I stay away from him, if I keep him at range, if I fight him at a distance, I could win this fight. And since he's so gassed out, right, every single time he tried to close the distance with me, I hugged on to him. And this time when I'm hugging on to him, I'm thrusting myself forward. He's already exhausted. I'm hugging on to him and I'm putting my weight on him. I'm thrusting my weight on him. So he's technically carrying my weight. And that's going to make him even more tired. So that is the game plan I had through the entire third round. Running away from him, fighting him from the outside, punching and kicking him from the outside. It's easy when I say it. It's a much different world when you do it out there. And one thing I will say is, in a fight, there are 3 rounds, 3 minutes each. One round of 3 minutes will feel like 3 hours. It feels like the time never ends. Somehow, I knew I had the third round in the bag by decision. I knew these last 60 seconds, if I just stay away from him, if I don't get into a gunfight with him, I will win this fight. I somehow survived. I went back to my corner. I didn't even think about the win or the loss. I was just happy. Then the referee brings both of us. And then they scored the win for me, decision unanimously. And I will say this one thing. No person I've ever met or no experience I've ever encountered has given me that feeling. That was, if not but one of the best moments of my life. That feeling of winning when you do something you love so much. There is nothing like that. Nothing can be compared to that. And then my opponent comes up to him and I told him, "The Dubai guy whooped you," and he's like, "Yes." And then we hugged. And then we left. Yeah. But after that fight, I knew I don't want to do this again. This was horrible. It felt like I was coming out of a monster movie. The kind of experience I had in this first fight. I told myself I will never fight again. I don't want to go through that I don't want to go through any of that ever again. 6 months, I was inconsistent. I didn't go to the gym. Once in a while, I went there just to get that itch to shrug it off, but was never consistent. But after 6 months, I got that itch once again. Akhil, I want to compete. I want to compete. But now I I'm overweight, overblown. I never cared. I still wanted to somehow fight. I rang my coach. I told him, Coach, schedule a fight for me. I don't care. He's like, do one thing, Akhil, come to the gym. I came to the gym and he's like, Akhil, you are not in shape. Last time you won the fight, you won just relying on your footwork, on your movement, on your speed, on your rhythm. This time you don't even have that. You're too fat. You're going to get yourself killed in that ring if you fight again. I didn't care. I was just impulsive, irrational. 19, 20-year-old guy at that time. Didn't think too much. I'm like, Coach, just set the fight for me. He's like, Akhil, I'll set the fight for you. But this time it's on your head. I'll be there in the corner. But whatever happens in that ring, you're accountable for it. I said, okay, I'm accountable. He sets the fight at 185 pounds. That is 25 pounds heavier than the first fight. I'm technically a light heavyweight right now. This time the opponent was more nice, didn't trash talk, very calm, very cool. So deep down that fire was also not there as much as the first fight, because in the first fight the guy was just talking trash. I'll fight that guy anywhere in the world. I'll fight that guy in Asia. I'll fight that guy in Antarctica. Hell, I'll fight that guy in the Republic of Congo for all my African folks. But all jokes aside, this guy was a lot more calmer. So the fight starts. I try, jumping around. I'm getting exhausted. My punches don't have the same rhythm. And this guy is just bashing me up and down, man. He is just damaging me, pummeling me. I don't know, somehow in the first round my chin held up. I don't know how I didn't go down. The second round starts. Before even I could know, this guy runs. He runs at me and he throws a flying knee. He throws a flying knee right beneath my abdomen. And I just collapse. I just collapsed there. I didn't know where I was. By the time I got up, the count is done. He wins the fight. But I wasn't sad because, like I told, even if I'm losing, doing something I love, it makes me happy. But that experience taught me to never rely on impulsiveness, to never rely just on being irrational. Be a lot more calculated. Think twice before you jump into decisions. So that was a huge learning experience for me. Technically, although I won the first fight, I didn't learn much from the first fight because I won the first fight. But from the second fight, the one I lost, I learned a lot. This is where I like to quote Brock Lesnar when he said, you need to learn how to lose first so that winning is much more sweeter. And yeah, I'm grateful for all those experiences, man. I don't regret losing the second fight. I'm not someone who likes to delve too much into the past. I like to move forward. So let's see what happens. So those were my two cherishable experiences in life. I'll never forget them. I hope you guys had a blast with this episode. I hope you guys loved it. So hit the like button, subscribe our channel. Peace out.